Hey everyone, my name's Bodge, and here's the Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition No Armor Challenge run. Let's go over some rules and exceptions / concerns. The only concern is why is Charlotte and Fiora wearing clothes? That's against the rules. And to tell you that, I was paranoid for NSFW complaints from Twitch, so I skinned them to have clothes so they aren't in their two-piece swimsuit. Don't worry, they still on in battle. Rule number 1. Absolutely no armor is allowed to be equipped with the exception of Dunban during Colony 9 in the Battle of Sword Valley, as he is forced to have armor on at that point, as well as melee during Magna Forest and Prison Island, as she is required to wear helmet armor for the duration of that part of the story. Rule number 2. No casual mode. Other than that, the rest is fair game, so let's get right into it. We play through the game as normal until we get to Shulk and Ryan in the scrapyard, and then we yoink their clothes and set off for Colony 9. In Colony 9, we then play until we are tasked with collecting ether cylinders for the mobile artillery from the hangar outside Teffer Cave. We make it up there, and then some drones come and attack Shulk and the gang, and this is where we get hard with the reality of this challenge. 2 or more enemies, and this challenge shows its worth. I gave it 2 good shots and said let's grind. We come back and somehow clutch the fight. After beating the robots, the sirens go off and Mechon begin attacking Colony 9. We work our way through Colony 9 after finding out Dunban's not home to grab the Monado. At the military district, we learn that the lab is covered in rubble, so we are tasked with fueling the mobile artillery to blow it up. However, on our way there, we are stopped by Mechon and they send Fiora to fuel it while Shulk and Ryan stay and fight. This fight was way easy as we were way overleveled. As Shulk and Ryan grew tired and lose hope, Dunban shows up blowing up the Mechon with the Monado, and they cut a path through Colony 9. As they reach the outskirts to try and go around the Monado, it takes its toll on Dunban and he drops the Monado in pain. Shulk picks it up and fights the Mechon. Now with Monado in hand, Shulk got a massive damage upgrade and cleaves through the Mechon with ease. At the residential district, we find the mysterious faced Mechon. We can't do much to him in the first fight, so we stall. After a heartfelt cutscene with the death of Fiora, we make a final stand against the Mechon. With one fantastic Blossom Dance from Dunban, we finish him with relative ease. Now the boys set off for Colony 6 to learn about the attack, so they go through Teffer Cave. In Teffer Cave, Shulk has another vision as he sleeps, and Ryan wakes him as he was fighting a ton of Arachno. This fight was not too bad as Shulk learned Stream Edge, so with that combined with the Monado Buster, it was easy to take out the Horde. We move forward and Ryan gets captured for being stupid, so Shulk has to save Ryan before the vision comes true of Ryan's untimely end. We meet up with Ryan and a new power unlocks that saves Ryan, known as Monado Shield. This fight was clutch as after we took out the Horde and made use of Monado's shield. Now, out on the knee, we make our way through Gar Plain and find a buggy which causes Shulk to have a vision of the driver, and so we go out to save him. This fight gave me a lot of trouble as they dealt too much damage and I couldn't do enough damage, so we grind. After grinding, we beat him after a lucky backslash in which Ryan took aggro just before Shulk was about to get hit. The driver, Juju, takes us to the refugee camp in which we meet Charlotte. Charlotte gives us backstory on the Colony 6 situation, and Juju asks to fight Charlotte. Juju asks to fight. Charlotte says no, so he leaves anyway. Charlotte panics and joins her team to go save Juju. I tried Charlotte and learned she's very bad for this challenge. We make our way deeper into Gar Plain and find Juju. Shulk unlocks speed to save Charlotte. This fight was the first real challenge within this run. He had all the steps necessary to make it hard and specifically for how I played. He had blaze damage, he had multiple enemies. I gave it a couple tries and then grinded up. Fight took some luck and some good Monado speeds, but once those tentacles were gone, I also realized that Monado speed was amazing for this run. After beating the Mechon, a new face shows and steals Juju. I began to panic when I saw Zord's level, but just before I died, the fight concluded, thankfully. Zord leaves and heads to the Ether Mines, so we follow. We make our way to the mines and meet Otharon, the Colony 6 general. Shulk has another vision of his death, and Ryan tells Shulk they'll change the future together. They make their way to the bottom of the Ether Mines and find Zord and a hostage, Juju, as well as the bloodstained metal of the remains of the Colony 6 residents. Zord wasn't too hard after beating his minions with a good couple of chains. We win. We then take the elevator after saving Otharon and pushing Zord into the Ether River. On our way up, Zord, extremely damaged, attacks the gang, but we easily defeat him. Leaving the mines, we encounter more Mechon and Metalface. However, Dunban and Dixon arrive to help. Dunban joins us, and we immediately take off the god of this challenge's armor and give him a shot. Ooh boy, it was satisfying. With his anti-Mechon sword, we shred the Mechon and confront Metalface. Metalface overwhelms the group, but then a Telethia comes out and gives Shulk the chance to damage Metalface a bit to drive him away. Dixon explains to Shulk to go to Prison Island and what a Telethia is, and that they need to get through Satoral Marsh. We make way through the marsh and find the idols necessary to make the ritual work to summon the boss to scale into the interior. This boss surprised me with its difficulty, but I beat him on attempt 2. We make way through the interior and into Magna Forest, and there we find a girl. Shulk is tasked with getting ether crystals to save her. Shulk finds the crystals, but is then greeted by a man named Alvis who explains Telethia are near. Shulk can't hit them, and Alvis flexes on Shulk by unlocking a new Monado art that seals them. Shulk, now with Monado Purge, fights the Telethia. This fight gave me trouble simply because I didn't spam Purge enough. On the 3rd attempt, we made it through with some luck. We go back to Melia and Charla heals her, and after smacking Shulk, Melia explains her goal and asks to go to Frontier Village. We go to Frontier Village and gain a new member after Ryan fucking spikes him named Ricky. And Ricky, the poor soul, needs free gear, so we get his free gear and set off for the Telethia. We find the location of the Telethia and begin the fight. We got our thoroughly beat as he was way high level compared to us, so we grind once again. We come back and get to his next phase, but we lose simply because I lost Purge and I didn't have Battle Soul on Shulk. But on the next run, on that phase, we beat him. We head back to Frontier Village and go up to Arid Sea. In Arid Sea, we then head to Alchemoth. Melia heads in to get the gang passage to Prison Island. However, the group is taken into custody because of the Monado. Alvis corrects this, and the group is free to go and explore. They help out Alchemoth by accepting a quest to repair things. We head out to the issue and attempt to rescue, but I got my ass kicked far too many times. I felt this was the end. Could this be it? Could this be our end? I head out there once more, and to my surprise, the enemies didn't respawn. This was a sigh of relief because they dealt too much damage. We beat them and head back. Shulk and the gang are then attacked by assassins of the Bionite Order, and Shulk can't do anything to them since the Monado can't hurt people. But as Dunban, we easily defeat them as we were way over-leveled, and with that, we go to save Melia before her end. Melia is then tasked with completing the Hyentia tomb to become the next Empress. Melia is riding solo here, and this is where the exception comes into play, because you can't remove her Empress mask. So by technicality, you can't win without armor. But we should continue anyways under my exception I listed at the start. We make it to the end as Melia and the swap over to the group, where Ryan pushes a button, sending them into the tomb's lower levels. We get to Melia after a bit, and she's fighting a high-NT assassin named Tyrea, and a Telethia comes out. This fight was real tough, but with a strategy of swapping aggro between Dunban and Ryan, and taking up the Telethia first, we got through it. Now, with Melia as the next Empress, Shulk discusses going to Prison Island with the Emperor and is denied. Shulk and the gang talk with Melia for a bit, and sirens go off in which the Mechon are attacking. Shulk has a vision of the Emperor's death and goes to the Prison Island anyways to save him. We activate the gate to Prison Island, and just before we step through, we are attacked by a beast that was sealed within the island. I forgot there was a fight, so here's the clip of when I left to get some food on stream while the cutscene played. This fight was an absolute joke. Anyways, onwards to Prison Island. At the top of the island, we meet Zanza. Zanza unlocks our Monado. Zanza is then killed by Metalface, and Metalface kills the Emperor as well. Shulk then taps into the Monado 2, and the Metalface fight begins. Unfortunately, Shulk wasn't the way to go for this fight. We got about halfway through, and then died. But on attempt 2, we beat him with Dunban, the Chad Naked Hero. And, that would be it for part 1 of this challenge. Enjoy the rest of the fight, and, I'll see you in the next one.
To become the hope of the High Entia is a fate that you choose for yourself. As long as you remember this, it is certain that you will be worthy of that name. But remember this also. It is not because you are the hope of the High Entia that I love you. It is because I love you that I wish for you to become that hope. Heir to the Monado, I leave the sword in your hands. The sword that my forefathers sealed away. With it, you can succeed.
Your Majesty.
Melia, cry for as long as you must. But when your tears are dry...
Melia, come with me.
Shulk,
You'll have plenty of time to think about your empire and your people's hopes. If you need me, I will be at your side. But you are an individual. You are Melia Antiqua, and you can't let them get away with this.
You're right. My foremost concern is making them pay.